Welcome to the Red Pill Awareness Needed Conversation for Men podcast. I am one of your hosts, Herb. I am here with my brother and the other host,
Jay Sadiq. What's up, people?
All right, so we're back with another show. This show is gonna be slightly different. We are going to do a reaction video, but this is kind of more of a discussion than a reaction video. To give you a little bit of backstory, there is a show, The Bachelorette, which I generally do not watch.
Nope.
I don't really watch.
Nope.
Too many reality TV shows. There's a few here and there. But what I will say is some of these reality shows does drop some very, very good red pill gems in that it kind of shows you how us as men should be acting and the things that we do that makes us look like assholes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think this particular season of The Bachelorette kind of gives you a really good red pill education in that we as men, we have to really, really understand and be on our frame when it comes to us being masculine, speaking our mind, and also what we want out of a woman and not acquiesce to what women in society say that we're supposed to act or how, real men are supposed to act. Because real men are supposed to stay on their frame. They're supposed to be honest. And they're supposed to call things when they see it, especially if it's detrimental to them. So to give you a backstory, there is this guy named Yosef that was one of the contestants on The Bachelorette.
What season was it?
It was this past season.
Okay.
It was the past season. So there was a part where Yosef wasn't a part of the group date. However, he was observing and checking out the group date. Now, mind you, the Bachelorette is close to 40 years old. She's looking for a husband. She's supposedly, quote unquote, looking to settle down. And I'll get more into her in a second because this whole situation was a pile of fuck shit to begin with. So, straight pile of fuck shit.
Pile of what, Herb?
Fuck shit.
Okay. Just making sure people in the back can hear you. Okay.
Listen, and I can't even take credit for that. Shout out for Cookie, who's going to be on this show eventually. She's gave me that term, and I use that shit forever and ever at this point. Straight up fuck shit. So, anywho, so basically the group date was the guys playing, I want to say volleyball. I don't remember if it was volleyball or dodgeball.
It was volleyball.
But she turned it into a game of the guys playing strip dodgeball on national TV. So these men getting butt-ass naked, not butt-ass naked, but, down to the underwear, playing a game, vying for her affection. Okay? No. Okay? No. And the reason why I'm saying no so harshly, because that's not what men are supposed to do.
Nope.
At all. You know what I mean? Like, that's just ridiculous. And the men look like straight up hardcore simps. I mean, it was fucking pathetic, So Yosef, who wasn't a part of the group date, had a one-on-one with her. And Yosef really was bothered. Yosef basically had a conversation with her during the one-on-one. And, he expressed how he felt about that situation. And he expressed how he felt about the behavior of her and the behavior of the men on that one-on-one. And I need... Now, Jay, you haven't heard this, have you? You've heard of it, but you never heard the actual situation.
Someone covered this, but I didn't hear the actual audio. They talked about it in detail, but I never heard the actual conversations on The Bachelorette, because I don't watch that show.
Right. So it came up on my timeline a few times, too. And I just remembered I really wanted us to kind of go over it because I think these things are very important when it comes to us as men really understanding to not be afraid to speak our mind and call women out on their shit when it's appropriate, because it needs to be done sometimes. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which YouTuber it was. I think it was MTR. And it was either MTR or Donovan Sharp. And they said that, most women are very accustomed to one-sided conversations. Mm-hmm. And that they're very accustomed to us saying what they want to hear and us catering to their feelings, and they're not accustomed to us calling them out on their fuck shit, especially when it's embarrassing to themselves as to men. Mm-hmm. And
it requires accountability.
Exactly. So I want you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to really listen to what he says and how he says it, and we're going to break it down and also listen to her response because I think this is very important, very, very important. So here we go.
I told you from the beginning I'm going to be open, honest, and,
Yeah.
only thing that I ask is really that you just hear me out.
Yeah.
And,
Of course.
you give me a chance to say all that I have to say.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like you got a lot to say, so
Yeah, so,
I'm here.
again, I said there's been a couple red flags that just kind of came out to me. And, the first thing that happened was really in our group date. I thought the day was going absolutely amazing. And, we fast forward into the evening and he basically said that, you guys are here for me, okay? And you're 100% correct. We are here for you. But, you're here for us too.
Yeah.
It's two-sided. And I've sacrificed a lot to be here. I'm
Yeah.
missing out on time with my daughter.
Yeah.
And every second I'm here, that's 1 second I've taken away from being with my child.
Honestly, I get it. My mom is dying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
Let
go
me
ahead.
continue.
I'm sorry.
Let me continue.
I told.
So I want to pause there because Jay, what's the first thing you noticed?
Making it about her.
Yes, absolutely. This man was voicing something.
I mean, man, making it about her again. When
Yes.
I detect, no, just interject here. When I detect this pattern, when I initially meet a woman, if I am going through a situation, serious or not serious, or telling you about my day, and you keep making it about you, especially if it's something that kind of upset me in the course of the day. On a rare occasion, I share that now because I don't share that much anymore. And you're constantly making it about you. I won't really call you on it, especially if we just started talking, but I will note that and I will probably withdraw from you. Because that pattern is not going to stop. It's going to get worse as we get closer. Mm-hmm. Worse.
And gentlemen, I want y'all to peep what she did because, and Yosef, shut it down quickly because the reality is that what he's saying, yes, they are on a reality show, so all these men are vying for this woman's affection. But at the same time, as a man, we have to understand and be on our frame in that if you're not getting that same
reciprocation,
that same reciprocation, that same energy, at the end of the day, you need to bail. You need to bail. Or at the very least, call it out. Hey, listen, I'm vibing with you, but I don't feel as though the vibe is the same. What's good? Call it out. Don't be afraid to say anything. And a lot of times, we as men don't really address things directly because we're too afraid of what the kickback or the blowback is going to be.
She won't be with me. I'm not going to get any further.
Right.
She won't let me sleep with her. Yada yada yada.
And you can't do that. And you gotta be on your frame when you do it. You gotta be like, yeah, this is what I saw, and don't let them change the subject, make it about them, because that's what's going to happen. And as you listen further, you're going to see how the reaction gradually change.
Thank you. I found it really disrespectful. I really did. And it's been bugging me for the past 3 days. It's been really eating me up. And I hate that this is the first time I've got to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
The second thing is, I was absolutely appalled at the group date that occurred yesterday. And there's naked guys, playing dodgeball together.
Dodgeball. Okay.
It's so humiliating and degrading. And I don't see how that really translates into finding a husband, who's willing to strip down butt naked and play dodgeball.
Exactly.
It's very silly and very immature.
Dance puppets.
And I feel like a lot of these guys, they're appeasing you. If I had been on that date, I sure as hell wouldn't have crossed that line. Not in a million years would I be caught dead doing that.
Exactly. They were all being simps. They were all, and again, let's emphasize the fact that yes, they're on a reality show. Mm-hmm. So they're all vying for affection. It's basically just a white I love New York bullshit. You know what I mean? But as men, and I'm relaying this to us as far as the Red Pill community, as men, we have to have boundaries and lines that we're not going to cross when it comes to interacting with women. We're not, as Jay like to say, we shouldn't be shucking and jiving for somebody's attention.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it should be. You know what I mean? You as a man, your attitude, your energy, your aura, you being on your purpose should speak for itself. You know what I mean? You know, yes, you should have a certain level of confidence. Those things are necessary. You can't walk up to a woman or have a conversation with a woman and sound like you about to fucking piss in your pants. But yeah, what he's saying is that, yeah, like you humiliated these dudes. At that point, it wasn't about trying to find the best candidate to be your potential husband. You were just basically, let's see how far these idiots are willing to go to get my attention.
Yep.
And that's what that came down to.
And as soon as you was done, you put them back on the shelf.
Yep.
Which is what happens to a lot of us men that go out of our way to please a woman, to make ourselves stand out, to make ourselves, well, I'm different. She'll notice me. Trust me, player. No, she won't.
Nah.
She's already made her mind up.
Right. Especially when it comes to, and this situation is kind of a prime example of that. You know what I mean? So we're going to continue. About 3 minutes left.
Right? Like, if my daughter saw me doing that, if my family saw me doing that, like, think of the thought that they would have. Think of the example that would be setting.
That's why you were not on that date.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't.
Now, did you guys peep the immediate defense?
Not empathy.
Not
An
understanding,
instant
right.
clapback.
Yes.
Gentlemen, how many times have you been trying to make a point to the fairer sex? You're not being disrespectful in your tone of voice. You're being direct. You're talking like an adult. And instead of empathizing where you're coming from, you get an immediate defensive reaction.
Now, I will acknowledge and say this. Your self-delivery was probably a tad. And I'm going to emphasize the word a tad harsh.
I don't think so.
Only because of the fact that he had, like, it wasn't like there was no kind of, like, this shit was he was holding on to this. He was chewing on it for a minute.
Okay.
So it came out, you could tell it came out in a way where it was like, you know what, I'm ready. I want her to have this.
But he wasn't holding on to it because he didn't want to tell her. He's holding on because he's on a scripted reality TV show. He doesn't get time whenever he wants to.
Valid.
You know what I'm saying?
Valid.
And he gave it to her straight.
He gave it to her
You
raw.
claim to be empowered.
He gave it to her raw.
No, fuck that. You claim to be empowered. You claim to be strength. You claim to be the beacon. And that's no matter what kind of woman you are, black, Latino, whatever. So I should be able to talk to you straight the fuck up. Not insulting you, not belittling you, not talking in a baby voice, none of that shit you fucking hate. Talking to you, human to human, as you say, without you getting all fucked up about it. And that's what my man did. He ain't do nothing wrong in my opinion. Nothing.
I didn't say
Look here. You made them motherfuckers dance like monkeys. If it was me and you, it would have been a motherfucking problem.
Right.
That's the hood version of what he said. Straight up.
I didn't say he was wrong. I
don't think it was harsh though. But that's what's programmed in us when we talk to the fairer sex. We feel like we gotta put shit in nice little pretty boxes with bows on it.
Oh, now you know I ain't like that.
I'm just saying, but I know you're not.
Right.
But a lot of us, man, I was like that for years, and now I'm not like that no more.
Right.
Now, I'm not an asshole. I'm not going to be obtuse or wrong or crass with you. But if you ask me a question, I'm going to be direct with you and speak to you with respect. But I'm not going to sugarcoat shit no more because you're fucking attractive. So if you meet me on the street and you're cute and want to ask you a question, I'm going to tell you straight the fuck up.
I'm going to give it to you,
Straight.
bro.
Straight up.
I'm seriously glad I wasn't. I was so appalled. A completely classless display. I expected a lot more from the oldest bachelorette that's ever been.
Stop.
I can't believe
Stop. I stand corrected. He just came at her neck. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing a full retraction on your
This
statement.
sword has been put out.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Woo!
He came at her neck.
Woo!
Oh my God. God damn.
Jeez.
What about my leg, shoulder, and fence?
Jesus Christ. Yo.
Damn.
Yo.
You old bitch.
that actually occurred. That's not the type of example I want set for my daughter. You're not setting the right example.
Her look
for my daughter.
is
I feel
shock
I even
and
have to
disbelief right now,
explain
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm ashamed to be associated with you. I can't believe I sacrificed
like he went at it at this point.
so
Like he's like,
much
fuck,
to
I'm
be
letting it all
here
out.
just to watch this distasteful in classes display. I'm serious. Like, so appalled. Going back to our first date, I feel like you.
She quiet though.
Really
She got quiet.
overreacted.
Is she on TV?
And
Oh no, she unleashed his way.
honestly, it sounded a little crazy. It sounded like, why? Like,
What
how?
sounded crazy?
So,
What about me saying that I want guys who are here for me and not trying to bro out with each other and want to get to know me? I'm looking for a husband. I'm looking
Claire,
for someone to
Claire, hold on,
love.
don't- wait, hold
Love
on.
me. I'm
Hold
looking
on,
for
Claire,
some.
hold on.
I've listened to you
No.
this entire time.
No, stop.
Do not stop me.
Don't,
I've listened to
do
you
not
this entire
interrupt me.
time.
Like, seriously, I asked you.
I've listened to you
I
for the
asked
last
you,
20 minutes.
And I'm not done yet. I asked you.
You know what?
please.
You are done. Let me tell you something. The way you're talking to me right now, never in a million years.
Claire,
Listen to me.
Claire,
Listen
hey,
to me.
no.
Never in a million years did I ever think I would have.
Now, because she didn't like what was said, and she was in immediate defense mode.
Who take you talking to?
Not only she got defensive, but she got borderline combative. She got in his face. She put her finger in his face. She invaded his space, all because she didn't like what was said. You know what I mean? She could have easily been like, "All right, well, you can leave."
That's it.
If you're not comfortable here, you don't like the things that are going on here, I respect your feelings and your opinion, you can leave. That should have been the end of it. But because most women operate on an emotional level, it turned into, I got to attack him back and I got to come at him. Okay?
I have to get in his personal space.
Yes.
And threaten him because I know for certain he's not going to do anything.
Right.
So I'm taking advantage of that.
Right, exactly. And
you have to be very careful when you challenge a man physically, ladies. Very careful.
Just don't.
You're praying that man has the restraint built in him to not attack you or to not retaliate. That's a serious gamble. Serious gamble.
Right. And again, as I said earlier, I understand where he's coming from. But he kind of went in. He kind of went in.
I probably should have waited till the rest of his statement before I made my statement. That's why I did a retraction.
He kind of went in.
My bad.
I understand why. Because certain shit is just like, yo, what the fuck? What kind of fuck shit is this? But yeah, he kind of went in. So it's about a minute left. I'm gonna play the rest of it, and then I gotta get to the next part of it. Because yes, there's more.
To utter these words again. Do not ever talk to me like that. I never thought I'd ever have to tell any man that I would never want them being the father of my child, and I stand by that. I would never want my children having a father like you. Get out of here.
Claire,
Listen to me.
He already established she don't want to be with you like that. She already established that you're a deplorable person.
But
you can't throw back what I already said.
But here's the thing. A father like what? What did he say that was so bad that she could sit there and say to him, I would never want my child to have a father like you? What? That he called you out on your shit? That he spoke? I mean, yeah, like I said, he kind of brought the hammer. However, he didn't say anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong. You know, and those that try to discredit what he's saying, at the end of the day, it's simpish behavior. Mm-hmm. He has a right, first of all, he has a right to his feelings and his opinion. He has a right to say whatever it is he chooses to say. And as long as he's not being disrespectful, then he has a right to voice it. He wasn't being disrespectful. He didn't call her a bitch. He didn't call her a hoe. He didn't call out her name. He didn't sit there and say, you know, you're the worst he said was, I'm embarrassed to be associated with you in this show. That's probably the most vicious he said.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said, you know, I expected more for you being the oldest bachelorette on the show. And you know what? I can understand that. Because the bachelorette usually are younger women, younger men. She's close to being 40 years old. She's supposed to be, you know, so there's supposed to be a certain level of, I guess he was looking for a certain level of sophistication and shit. You know, and if he's seeing that it's no different than any other bachelorette show, except now this chick is older, then yeah, like, and he wasn't really looking for that. He got every right to voice that. But don't be afraid to voice that shit. Now, just wait until you hear the rest of the shit. But we gonna finish this out.
Are you serious?
Bro, hey, believe
Get outta
that
here.
you're not fit to be a mother to my child. That ain't right.
Man.
Get out of here.
Listen to the White Knights. That ain't right.
Is everything all right?
That's how he feels, though.
You okay?
Listen to the White Knights.
Completely classless, Claire. Are you serious?
Bro, yo, calm down over there, man.
You gotta chill out, dude. Bro.
Or what?
I expected way more from the oldest bachelorette
In history.
Bro,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Go home.
And she's crying around the White
You're
Knights.
almost 40. Take your ass home, bro.
Are you kidding me?
Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Hey, she's all yours, boys. All right, bet.
Bro, I'm so Egypt right now.
I'm trying not to, like...
This is exactly what I was talking about the other day. This is exactly what I was talking about the other day. Disrespectful as hell. This is just what he does.
Talking to a woman like that, I don't care what was done.
Talking to a woman like what?
Honestly.
I mean, like, was he, like I said, was he a bit raw and harsh? Yeah, I'll sign that check. But he wasn't wrong. And there was nothing, it was no other way he was going to put that was going to make her be like, oh, okay, I understand. Let's just call it what it is. Like, there wasn't. Because she has these other men that,
Fan club?
right, that are going to give her the attention that this man won't.
Yes, man.
And that's why when she got mad, she walked over to those other men.
Help.
She cried over to those other men. She was big and bad and tough, got in his face, then turned around and walked off, went to those other men, and then those other men is like, bro,
Are being aggressive over a woman that's not theirs.
that's not theirs. How about it? How about it? How about it? It is ridiculous.
It's like me fighting for a girl in a movie theater in line to get tickets ahead of me. She's not getting beat up. She's not getting abused. She's having a conversation with another dude that she doesn't like, and she cries, and now I'm ready to beat his ass over a conversation that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
That conversation was between her and him. And you are old as shit on The Bachelorette. He ain't lie.
He ain't lie, right. He ain't lie.
He just doesn't want to hear it.
Now, here's the part that makes it even worse, right? So, now, I'm going to give y'all the rest of the information shortly. But they had a reunion show, okay? And, of course, Yosef was on the reunion show along with the other guys and the host. So, what ended up happening was they addressed this incident on the reunion show. And Yosef didn't back down. He was like, I said what I said. It's how I felt. You know, and I'm not going to back down or feel some kind of way about what I said. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to how these men act on the show while he's talking and giving his explanation. I need y'all men to look at the simplest blue pill white knight behavior and how all these men gang up on him to try and shame him in what he said in his behavior, including the host.
Wow.
After the strip dodgeball date, a date you weren't even on, what was it that struck such a chord with you?
You know, I mean, there were some red flags that popped up on our first group date, actually. And then the strip dodgeball was definitely something that I did not agree with. But it was more than that. It was the actual fact of the humiliation for the losing team. I'm a very outspoken person. I'm going to speak my mind. And, you know, I think everyone deserves that honesty. And, you know, I was raw. But I don't regret sticking up for these guys. I would do it.
Sticking up for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I was on a date.
Yeah.
I was too, and so was Damar.
Yeah.
We actually were three of the most naked guys, I think. I don't have did you have a problem?
No.
At the end of the day, Yosef, like, we could have said no.
Right.
But I just don't get because you weren't there. Like,
All right,
why?
so it doesn't matter if I was there or not. I can have my own opinion about it, and I didn't bring it up with, you know, really like any of y'all.
No, I know, but once you start saying it, it makes us three look like because we're the ones that did it.
No.
Well.
So
Well.
here's the thing. First off, he can have his opinion whether he's there or not. He could be a spectator and watching the shit and say, yo, this some fuck shit. This need to be said. He can do that. Well, that's his right to do that.
Yeah.
Regardless if you guys choose to speak up or not. Secondly, because the other men are such fucking simps and are so vying for this woman's attention that they feel more embarrassed because he said
Now
something.
they realize what they did was humiliating.
Right, because he said something more than anything else. So if he wouldn't have said nothing, y'all wouldn't have thought nothing of it. Y'all would have been like, oh, okay, this was cool. I got naked for a chick that didn't choose me. Because most of the motherfuckers on the show didn't get chosen. More than that in a minute. So that's the fucked up part about it. Now, let's hear the rest of the shit.
You can listen. You can argue that with anyone you want. Don't argue with me. I already have my opinion on it. All right, I brought it up to the source. I brought it up to the person
in a way.
No, not in a
Yeah,
way.
it was. It was kind of.
Listen, I'm sorry you can't express like how you feel like as a man to someone, but
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Ibambe! Ibambe! Damn!
Yo.
Sorry you can't express yourself. Maybe I should bring out the sock puppets. Damn, son! Woo-wee.
And you know what? He's absolutely
right.
fucking right. He's absolutely right.
It's totally stupid, dude. This is dude. Like,
Right.
Enunciate, dog.
He's absolutely right because
Enunciate.
absolutely right because at the end of the day, man, we should, as men, we should be able to speak our mind, our opinion. And what has happened over the last several years is the fact that because of a lot of things that are going on in society today, men's opinions are very, very rarely heard. You know what I mean? We can't speak our mind without being shamed or told we're wrong or this, that, and the third. And at the end of the day, we as men, if we want to have good lives and successful lives and be on our square, be on our purpose, we can't allow ourselves to be pressured when it comes to speaking our mind and saying, giving our opinions when it makes sense and when it's warranted. You know, and he was in that situation. He was in it. And he spoke his mind. And she chose to not listen. She could have easily like, well, you know what? I could understand where you're coming from and you're right. Maybe I need to approach this differently if I'm truly looking for a husband. That's a whole nother way she could have looked at it.
Yep.
But she chose not to. And then to feed into that, you got these simp-ass white knights that are acknowledging her behavior and basically catering to it and saying, no, there's nothing wrong with it. We was okay getting butt naked and embarrassing ourselves on national TV for a chick that didn't pick us. More on that in a minute. I'm going to finish this.
Speaking like that and demeaning because he didn't talk about the date.
I think we can all go back and see. Hold on a second. I think we can all go back and see that conversation started out very calm, cool, and collected.
Yep.
It didn't like accelerate until Claire started talking about my daughter.
Because you controlled the whole conversation. And when she tried to express and say, Yosef, I completely understand where you're coming from. No, shut the up, Yosef. Then you just...
He did the exact same thing she did.
For a chick, that's not the host?
No, that wasn't the host. That was one of the
Okay.
contestants. You'll get to the host in a second. He did the same thing the chick did. So let's clarify here. When she did choose to speak, she tried to make it about her. When he wasn't trying to hear that and shut it down, she got quiet, listened to everything that he said, and then immediately got defensive and clapped back. There was no kind of evaluation. There was no kind of like, okay, let me chew on it to see if what he's saying is valid or not. None of that. It was, how dare you talk to me like that? And this man, that's supposedly be a man, is acting the same way she did. Same way. And that now he's mad, again, over a woman that didn't pick him, and getting defensive at him, calling him all kinds of assholes because he spoke his mind over something that now he feels embarrassed about. You can't operate like that as a man. This is why I go back to what I said. Us as men, we should not be operating on emotion. That dude is solely operating on emotion because nothing that Yosef said was wrong. You know what I mean? What do you think, Jay?
I agree. He was a straight shooter. The conversation didn't get ugly until she took it there. Mm-hmm. She should have had the mental capacity to digest what he said, and even if she disagreed with it, say so in a respectful manner. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes when I'm speaking to someone with respect, if they don't agree with me or they feel like I'm wrong, they're unable, just like these young men, they're unable to rebuttal in an educated way or a professional way, it gets personal.
Immediately.
My intellect gets questioned. My masculinity gets questioned. Shit, sometimes my sexual orientation gets questioned and gets in question if I'm talking to, depending on which woman I'm talking to. All because I don't agree with the subject at hand. And the subject have nothing to do with sex.
Nothing to do
But
with
now
them.
because I don't agree with you about this non-sexual conversation, now you're questioning my masculinity. You're questioning my strength. You're questioning my intellect. You're questioning about whether I can defend myself. Now I'm a bigot. Now I'm a bitch ass dude. It's just, it never fails.
To give you guys an idea of what we're talking about, I just had this situation with a female friend of mine that I'm no longer friends with because I called her to basically vent to her about a personal situation. And come to find out, once she got the information or got enough information, she basically said to me, well, she didn't feel anything wrong in the behavior that the other person exhibited that pissed me off. Now, I could have snapped and went on and called her all kinds of names or whatever, but what I tried to do was end the conversation and get off the phone. And I was honest. I said, listen, I realize at this point, because you condone this behavior, you're not the best person to talk to about this. So I think it's best for me to end this conversation and let me deal with the issue I have at hand.
Right.
And we can talk later about this or something else.
Mature response.
Right. This is what I said. But because of the fact that I wanted to end the conversation and was honest with her and told her that because we fundamentally disagree, you are not the best person for me to talk to, she proceeded to go off and get mad about it. But not only get mad about it, but compare her to said person that I was mad about. And then when I gave another response, then she made it into a personal attack.
Yep.
And long story short, it escalated into something that it really shouldn't have because I was trying to disengage from the conversation to begin with. But because she became emotional, instead of recognizing the fact, well, maybe it's not the best time to talk to him about this shit right now.
He's already upset.
Right. It just turned ugly. You know, and these are the things that happen when you especially engage with women. I'm going to say men do this too, but more so with women. And whenever you do that, you have to be on your frame, man. You got to always be in control of yourself, your emotions, and the conversation and situation. Because then you have these white knight simp ass motherfuckers like these dudes that act like this. And it's ridiculous.
To a whole new level of disrespect.
I'm going to break in for a second because I'm actually
That's the
curious if you have any regrets. Now
You just said no.
No, but you've gone back and
You hear
had
how
the opportunity
emotional he
to
is?
watch
My
it.
man rubbing his
Yeah, we
head
all
like
have. But do you stand by what you said? Do you stand by all of your actions? Do you have any regrets?
No, I have no regrets. I mean, the thing is, everything I said was factually accurate. I don't think I said anything inflammatory, to warrant that
People
response.
are
Saying,
readjusting
you're not
themselves in
gonna
their
be the
seats. They're so
father
pissed
The
off.
other
of
men
my
are pissed off.
children.
You came at her, you called her classless, you were out of line. You're a terrible person.
Well, why didn't
Ladies,
y'all
watch out
run
for
up
this
to
man.
me and tell me when I was walking out? Why y'all gotta wait a few months to tell me?
I'm telling you.
That was
right
Derek
now,
Jackson
I am
right there.
10 feet
Ladies,
from
look
you.
out for
Right.
this man.
Right.
Wait. I am 10 feet from you, and I am telling you right now.
Not just Riley. We're all telling you how it is right now.
Yeah, man. I think the most shocking thing is that you have no regret or remorse. Not only are you
would he?
owning the behavior, but the way in which you went about it is really shocking. I respect y'all's opinion, but I have my own opinion, and
Is it shocking because unlike you bitch asses, I said it right to her face? I didn't tweet it. I didn't TikTok it. I didn't do none of these stupid mannerism moves that you modern day so-called macho dudes do where you text about it, you type it, you do a video about it. How about you see me in the actual place that I'm in and say it to me like an adult? Whether it's business, whether you're pissed off, whether you want to threaten somebody to their face. Let's go 1985 now. Because this bullshit right here happens way too much.
Yeah.
And this modern society accepted way too much, man. I'm from the era where you used to get the shit kicked out of you at the school.
Bro, you showed me post on Facebook where you had a topic and you and some other guys will say certain things. And then you'll have one of those white knight dudes and be like, but men's not supposed to do this.
Right.
And bro, I've seen
And every
post.
single time it happens to me, I
it's
say, yo,
ridiculous.
pick up your feelings and get off my page. Because Old me would have responded and clapped back. I'm not doing none of that. Yo, just leave.
Right.
Just don't do it. Because if I decide to go in on you, I'm not going to stop. And I'm an expert at Photoshop, so I will completely humiliate you in 4K.
I mean, it amazes me sometimes with how these men respond. All these dudes are ganging up on a guy over a woman that didn't choose them.
They had a conversation with her to her face about a difference of opinion on her moves on one episode of the show. Didn't call her out her name, didn't put his hands on her, didn't invade her personal space, spoke to her like an adult. That's it.
Yep. We're going to finish this out. It's about a minute left.
Gonna stand by that.
So just so we're clear,
Peep
when
the host,
you
by the
watch
way.
that, you're like, that's cool. I would never mind anyone talking to my daughter like that.
If like my daughter did something like that, I would hope to call her out.
Boom.
So, first off, let's peep the shaming
He
tactic.
owned that comment, though.
Let's peep the shaming tactic that is very common when it comes to men in these situations. I have a daughter, okay? First off, let me just back up. The fact that the host tried to use that shaming tactic to make this man feel guilty about what he said is fucking ridiculous.
And bringing his kid up as a shot.
Yeah, like that's
a shot
fucking
at him just now.
ridiculous. You know what I mean? And secondly, what he said is exactly correct. I have a daughter. And one of the things that I teach my daughter on a regular basis is about accountability. Accountability for your actions. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with boys and relationships, your school, your things, how you interact with other people, your mom and your dad. You have to be accountable for your fucking actions. And if she does something that's inappropriate or fucked up, and somebody call her on it, rather it be me or another person, as long as they do it in a respectful manner, I ain't got shit to say. I got nothing to say. Because at that stage of her life, she's going to be a grown-ass fucking woman. And if I did my job as a father, she's going to fucking understand, hey, guess what? I need to be accountable for the fuck shit I might do. Period. So, fellas, do not get caught up in these fucking shaming tactics when it comes to speaking your mind. When it comes to addressing a woman and letting her know, like, hey, listen, you want some fuck shit, I ain't about that. So I'm gonna edge stage left and call it a day. You know what I mean? The fact that the host tried to use that shaming tactic is fucking ridiculous.
I rarely do this. I want to try to help you help yourself.
He good.
I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in 20 years, but that was really not a good look. It just the way it escalated. The way
It's the
you
host.
spoke. But what I would love is if you could just see that and just be like, you know what? I do see that, and Claire, for that I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not gonna apologize.
No.
With all due respect, like I really don't care what any of these guys really think about me. I'm gonna stay true to myself.
Okay.
That's how you be a man. That's how
tried
you
to
be a
help,
masculine
and
man
I
stay on your friend.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
That's how you be a masculine man.
Because that's what The Rock says.
Stay on your friend. That's what you do.
Exactly, man. I'm not going to change up because the girl didn't like it.
Now, let's get to the one caveat that I held until the end. Here's the fuck shit part about the whole show. So what was found out later on was the Bachelorette had already had met somebody on the set of the show. All right? I think he was a camera person. I don't know who the fuck he was. But she met somebody and fell for the dude that was part of the production of the show. So she had already had her mind made up who she was going to fuck with before the show even started, or around the time the show started. So she put these men through all these different things, did all this shit for nothing. Absolutely nothing. What makes it even more appalling, the fact that you have these men coming at Yosef about what he said and what he done over a woman that I've said repeatedly did not choose them. That is the definition. That is a prime example of blue pill simp behavior. Fellas, don't be that guy. Don't be those guys. Don't. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you any kind of success when it comes to women and self-growth. It's not. It's not, because at the end it's going to make you look like a fool.
Yep.
You know, and that's what these men look like. They look like fools. Cause even the host trying to shame this man. Let me help you out. At least apologize. Apologize for what? But see, that's what society tries to make you do. And that when you're honest with yourself and you're honest with the people around you, if it's not the popular thing to say or the popular thing to do, they want you to apologize. You have to say, oh, I was wrong for saying this because it's unpopular, or it's not, it's a harsh thing to say.
It goes against the grain.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and this is a part of being red pill aware. You know what I mean? Being aware that you have to not be afraid to be your masculine self. Not be afraid to know yourself and set boundaries and set rules, and to say and to verbally say what you will and won't accept. You know, what you do and don't need for yourself to be happy, to be successful, and things of that nature, out of the woman that you deal with, if you so choose to engage. You know, and there's nothing wrong in that. There's absolutely nothing wrong in that. And it's ridiculous that the other dudes on the show and the host tried to come at this man and say it wasn't a good look for what he said. Now, as I've acknowledged earlier, Jay and I have debated to some degree, what did he come a little harsh? Yeah, a little.
But I think he did that when she took it personal. Like in the beginning,
he was calm.
They was calm.
He was calm.
And then when she kind of went there, he went there like, yo, you're not going to just make me downplay my opinion.
You saw her, like, for the people, because it's an audio podcast, if you saw her facial reaction, you already know where the shit was going. And I'm going to put the links for both shorts in the description. But you already know where this shit was going to go. You slowly seen her facial expressions, her body language gradually change to where she got to a point where I'm not listening to this fuck shit no more. I'm not listening to this no more. You know, and that's what you saw. But the moral of the story is, listen, man, don't be afraid to be honest and true with yourself. And say what's on your mind. Even if it's not the most popular or well-accepted thing. You know, be you.
Right.
You know.
Regardless of the audience.
Right. I mean, don't be you ain't got to be a savage unless it's called for. But at the end of the day, man, don't be afraid to be on your masculine frame and say what's on your mind, say what you expect, give your expectations, and be like, listen, if you don't meet those things, I'm out, or I'm not getting involved with this shit. And that's what he did. And don't be afraid to do that, because society tells you too much today that you have to be more agreeable to make her happy. You have to be more understanding to make her happy. And you have to sacrifice
everything,
yourself,
everything
for her happiness. You know what I mean? And no, you can't lead. You can't be a masculine man, be a masculine self, if that's how you're operating and moving. Those men that was coming at his neck, they thought they were doing the manly thing, defending and protecting her, defending and protecting the woman that did not choose them in the end. Didn't even have a chance to be chosen from the fucking beginning.
And humiliated you on national TV.
Right.
But making you dance like a damn monkey.
Yeah.
Naked.
So
for ratings.
So with that being said, we gonna end this here. This actually went a lot longer than I thought it was gonna go, but it's cool. You know, I enjoy it. We enjoy the conversation. Like, share, subscribe. We are definitely going to. I know we've been talking about this video shit.
We're doing video next time.
Yeah, but you know, with the Derrick Jackson thing, and then this kind of popped up where I really wanted to get these out. So, but again, we're on all podcasting outlets. I do make a quick YouTube version of this. It's still audio, but it's on YouTube. And I think that's it. Anything else you want to add, sir? Or anything you want to?
No, I'm good, man. Just don't be afraid to be yourself. I'm often in the room, and I often don't have the most popular opinion. It never bothered me. I don't care. As long as it's not, personally attacking you, deal with it.
Right. So, on that note, we out.